Hi team, hope you're well. Yesterday Atlassian ran their post Anaheim webinar showing all the highlights that they have in the pipeline. As I posted on my LinkedIn, I was watching it and I was eagerly watching it because unfortunately I didn't make it to California this year. As someone that is interested in technology trends in general, and being especially interested in the Atlassian ecosystem, this was a very valuable hour spent. Unfortunately, I did miss a Q&A. I'm not sure if it actually happened, but it left me with a few questions there. Foremost, it's quite obvious that AI is also the big narrative in the Atlassian ecosystem. There's no doubt about it. And I think it's not even a narrative anymore. We have left when it comes to AI, we left the hype stage and now moving into, okay, what can we actually do with it and what possibilities do we have with that stage? Like it's a proper tool, and like a good friend of mine always used to say, a fool with a tool is still a fool. And let's find out how foolish this really is. This is not a tech review. These are just some random thoughts running through my head. So I think this headline, unfortunately, I couldn't find a recording of the webinar because actually I would like to see it a second time because there were a few segments that I found interesting. So anyone knowing about a recording of this webinar, please share in the comments. But AI as your teammate, I think that's a trend generally we see, like this whole AI assistant narrative and approach is becoming visible everywhere. What Atlassian showed yesterday when it comes to like how they want to take their Jira world, where you manage a product or project delivery, to the stage where they dive into the code. That's something that we see across the board, everywhere. I'm not sure if you saw it, but OpenAI is in talks. I think they're close to deal, or very close to close the deal with Windsurf. There's Bold. There's all this Lovable. There are all these vibe coding tools, and I think vibe coding doesn't even do any justice. It's taking something like Studio Code to a next level to really have an AI companion. And the good news is Atlassian they see the trend, they want to be part of the game, but I think it will be super challenging for them. One of the tools I used to be a big fan of, and I'm still a big fan of, is Loom, but there are also so many alternatives to this, to Loom as well. I personally didn't see any highlight that I said, okay, this is very unique to Atlassian, this will make them stand out, and I'm pretty sure they will win the race. I think we're too early with this at this point. I think Atlassian obviously has a huge community, and I think that's the one asset the others don't have. Like you don't have a loyal community. Microsoft doesn't have a loyal community like that. I think Monday.com doesn't have it, Notion doesn't have it. The community is a strong point for Atlassian. But on the other hand, working in the Atlassian ecosystem, huge part of the community is also the marketplace, and a lot of things are changing there. And one of the key points I took away from this segment, AI as your teammate, is with Rovo, you will be able to create your own apps. And that's actually one of the things I want to try out in the next few days. It's very similar to what OpenAI is doing with building your own GPTs. It's a trend that we see everywhere. And if you want to take it even a step farther with Windsurf, I think it's very easy to create your own apps. But yeah, Atlassian is part of that journey. And I think the one question I have on my mind that's more like fundamental to this, because there are so many moving parts, and when it comes to AI and developments, things are changing on the daily. So let's look at the fundamentals. And one fundamental question I have is, and let's see if actually ChatGPT can give us an answer. The one question I have is, what kind of LLM is Atlassian using? So let's see if we can get any information on that. Is Atlassian AI using? Let's see. Used by Metas, open source, a combination of self-hosted and externally hosted models to optimize performance. Okay, this one is open source. I think they open sourced their Llama, Microsoft, Mistral. Okay, that seems to be their own model. Okay, third party. Okay, that's interesting because in the end of the day, looking at the how you call that, shovels and buckets approach, that I think that's where the money is made. Because if you have to use other models using APIs, it's very costly. If you ever tried OpenAI's API, there's a cost element to it, and it's actually that can make or break it. So I think it's a little bit like we had a few decades back with processors and hardware. With phones, if you own the hardware, you control it. I guess in this case, it's if you own the model, you control what people can do with it. So I think at this point, the critical thing to watch is if Atlassian is building their own model, if they're building their approach on their own model, or if they're still utilizing third-party applications. I think when it comes to AI, that would be something that would give me confidence to dive really deep into the Atlassian AI world. On the other hand, there's so many things happening with, and if I find the time, I might do a few more videos on this. Let me know if you're interested. There's Perplexity. There's this whole topic on AI dev assistance with Windsurf, like I mentioned, bold, lovable. There's so many things happening right now. Then ChatGPT's own development. So lots of moving parts, and I'm just scratching the surface here. It's an interesting time. It's an amazing time to be in tech. I think the next 5 years will be incredible. And I'm discovering new use cases and real use cases for AI on a daily basis. To wrap this up, I love Atlassian. I'm a Jira user for more than 15 years. It's been a tool I used in my career more than anything else. Confluence is great. Recently I'm using Notion a little bit more, but that can change on the daily. And I think that's also the mindset that you have to develop. Don't do any yearly subscriptions and always stay flexible and stay open to new solutions, because holy shit, stuff is moving fast, so many options. And I'm just learning together with you. If you have any suggestions, any things I should look into, please let me know. Until then, I wish you a fantastic day. Have fun, stay positive. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.